Hello everyone and welcome to our epilogue for episode 1 of Depths of Anarcus. We're just going to jump straight into it.
Like, where did that guy go?
Yeah, where's my dude?
So the first question you want answered is, where did your Tempesta Scion go?
Yes. Did he just poke his head back out?
Alright.
Hey guys, I lost contact with you.
No shit.
So first things first, as you see the last cannons come back on and start shooting at everything, and you see the Eldar start to run away at these last cannons and these servitors, the whir of vengeful machine spirits flickers around the Vox circuits and on the loudspeakers. And amongst the frigid cold, you start to see not just these automatic weapons, but countless other automatic weapons hidden in the snow around you start to fire up into the sky at the Eldar Raiders. It just fills the atmosphere with just last cannon and bullets. Now,
Nice.
and seeing this, pretty much whatever Raiders aren't shot down pretty much scatter. And over the top of the whirring snow, and as the gunfire dies down, you start to hear the glory of the Mechanicus cants just being canted with so much canticle. The surviving Admech are cheering and praising hard to the Omnissiah that their turrets came online and saved them. They think the turrets came online and saved their butts because the Machine Spirit loved them.
Engage the linkage on the side.
Should we tell them that...
Let them think what they want.
Okay, so now as you're doing this, things start to settle back down. And you gather around the front, to the front section there where that hangar was, where your guy disappeared into, your Tempesta Scion.
Poke my head in?
And he comes back out with the guy who was at the very top of the Bastion, the Cyber Priest.
That's where you ran off to.
And the Cyber Priest walks on forward to meet you. Now, you notice two things about him. One, he is wearing Chemican garb and colours. So he is from the local Forge world.
Mm-hmm.
And as he approaches you, he sort of somewhat nods to acknowledge that you're Inquisitors, before speaking in a very monotonous voice. This one thanks you for your aid, servants of the Imperium. Archmagister Ravis summons you immediately before more Xenos arrive, then beckons you inside.
I do believe it's important to talk to him since he seems to be in charge of this operation. Maybe they can also help us figure out what happened in orbit.
Yep.
Do either of you attempt to try and contact the ship in orbit?
Probably Scarlet would, just to check in. See if everything's alright up there.
Yeah, just check in and let them know that we're about to go out of comms range.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, before you even... Like, when you go to try and vox them, static.
I don't like that.
Whatever the interference that was blocking you receiving the transmission earlier is still in effect.
Ah.
Okay. So, as you descend the elevator shaft down into Ravis Station labs, things seem eerily quiet. The Skitarii guards who escort you say nothing. As the elevator grinds to a halt, the massive doors seem like they're built for loading and offloading large amounts of supplies and very heavy crates open. You're greeted by a small buffering room with two massive war engines of the Omnissiah towering over you. They do not react, but as you put a foot forward, they point their guns at you immediately.
Are these...
These are two massive Castellan robots. There are also gun servitors in the walls. They've also got their guns trained on you. The tech priest accompanying you, the cyber priest, walks forward, straight past them.
Okay, we'll pause, and then say, in the name of the Whole Inquisition, lower your weapons.
They do not.
You would tell the engine's priest to make them lower their weapons.
He responds, "Do not worry of them. They will not fire. They merely are on guard sentry protocols. You may approach without fear of fire."
Very well.
Alright. So as you enter the room, make sure you're following behind him and squarely in the center of the room. You walk past these Castellans, they are big, they are looming, and they look like, they don't have eyes, but they look like they are following your every move.
Big boys.
Now, he plugs himself into... Now, after this buffering room is another really big door, and this looks like a huge blast door to your eyes. Like, really thick. Almost something you would expect to see on a Titan.
Is there a Titan in there?
Right. You know what? Roll a d6. What'd you get?
2.
There is, you know for a fact, there is, you can tell, there is nothing here. This is just a facility, it's just a really big door.
Damn.
Now, the tech priest plugs himself in with his cogitator, and after a little bit, ejects, and the door opens. And as it slowly rumbles through, he leads you through with his synthesized voice. This way, through the labs. Now, you enter these labs, and it's not a straight path. You end up having to climb some things, and you end up basically going over an observation deck, straight up some stairs. Now, when you look down, you see that hollowed out underground is a series of massive labs, all side by side, all viewable from above on this platform. You can't tell a lot without really looking closely what's in these labs. You see servitors working on stuff, but
You don't know what.
unless you really want to look closer. But he's trying to usher you forward, further along.
We follow.
Alright. Finally, at the end of the gantry, you descend deeper. You exit the stairs, and then you continue to go underground. And further, and further, and further. Finally, you reach what you assume is the bottom. And, based on what you're seeing, the entry to the command hub for this entire facility. Another really big sealed blast door, guarded with turrets and more servitors and more Castellans. They're also flanked, this massive door, with 2 loudhailer speakers. And out from these comes a croaking voice once you present yourself. I am Supreme Magus Genitus T Pratox Ravus, Arch-Illuminator of the Pax Mechanicum Chemoflux. I thank you for your service. Our distress call only had a 2% chance of being received before the Xenos breached our facility, especially since our communications went dark.
How fortunate for you that we happen to be in the area.
This is most fortuitous, yes.
Tell me, what is a detachment from Chemico doing on this planet? It was supposed to be abandoned.
We are conducting research.
On what exactly?
These matters are classified by the orders of the there's a term for the person who rules over the entire Forge world. Yeah. I'm forgetting their title right now. The Arch...
Princeps?
No. It's like a garment or something. Anyway.
Arch important person, good.
Archmagos, probably.
It's like an even bigger fancy title. These are... Our research is... We cannot reveal our research
Do you know why the raiders were attacking you? Were they after your research, perhaps?
2 days ago, our research station came under attack by Xenos pirates after we lost contact with the station in orbit. The first attack destroyed our main communication array. Our secondary array has just been destroyed in this attack, and is not powerful enough to break through whatever jamming they are emitting.
So do you know anything of what happened in orbit?
I do not.
I regret to say
I know
that-
nothing of the politics on the orbital station.
I regret to say that anything you might have had in orbit is now destroyed.
We did not have anything in orbit. We kept to ourselves and only used it as a station for delivering of supplies. I did not enjoy dealing with him,
Who's him?
the orc who ruled over the station.
What? There's Xenos ruling on the station?
My agreement with the orc includes the supply of various machine articles in exchange for leaving us alone.
You don't make deals with the Xenos, you purge them!
This area is outside of the boundaries of the Imperium. We have no say in its governance.
No area is beyond the reach of His Holy Emperor.
We could not forcibly purge the orc even if we tried. He has a massive fleet of many powerful warships.
Not anymore. Strange, I had a vision about an orc.
Is
I
that
have
what
a
gave you
feeling-
your nasty little headache?
I have a feeling he might still be alive on the station.
If the orc, known as Captain Shazwaza, is still alive, this is indeed disturbing news. He has grown increasingly more demanding in tributes lately to the pirates and those who use the station.
Well, I think we should go aboard what's left of the station and purge it.
Agreed.
Now that you have arrived, I assume we can begin evacuations. If you have a ship in orbit, we will begin preparing to demolish the lab so we may return with our data back to Chemica.
Oh,
Yes.
Not going to be
Yes.
happy.
The, what was the ship? The Solar Isabella is in orbit.
Do you have a sufficient way to contact them or your own shuttles? Our
No.
backup transmitter is not functional.
Yes, not at the moment we don't.
No, the disruption field seems to be interfering with our communication as well. We can only contact them by in person once we get back up there by shuttle.
Very well.
Once we get back up there, we'll inform the captain that, and we'll send down shuttles to pick up your men and material.
However, I warn you, there is a small chance that the Xenos will intercept any shuttles leaving from this facility.
That's why we're going to board the station, to make sure that he's dead.
Very well. We will not be able to contact you. The only array capable of doing so is located nearby in a small outpost. We do not have the manpower.
Is it destroyed or just simply damaged?
Our current transmitter is showing on the machine spirits to be completely destroyed.
Do we know where the source of the jamming is coming from?
We do not.
Can you figure it out?
We have tried. We only guess that an auxiliary substation nearby with a sufficient transmitter will be able to transmit into orbit.
Alright, we'll make sure that your anti-air guns stay online to protect the shuttles.
We will try. We are sufficiently drained of Skitari.
Do. Or do not. There is no try.
Omnisire be praised. I hope you hurry. We have very important data which is classified Prioritas Alpha Imperatus.
There is one condition for your rescue. For your evacuation.
Do not bother with me, Inquisitor. I am Supreme Magus of the Genitus Division. I have say over half of my Forge World. I am T. Pratox Ravis.
What did you have in mind?
I know who you are. But you would not deny a request from His Holy Inquisition. You know we could shut down your whole planet. We simply request...
You hear nothing. You hear silence.
Cade, you're making enemies.
You hear silence.
Cade, you're making enemies where there doesn't need to be.
We simply request that the benefits of your research affect His holy servants of the Inquisition.
Our research will change the face of the Imperium and turn the tide of the war against the traitors, not only in this sector, but across all sectors.
That
It
is
will
why I
benefit
request that my agency becomes personally involved in oversight.
I cannot allow this.
Then I'm afraid...
Chemica will not share its secrets with anyone, nor will we ever do so again.
Then I guess our shuttle...
Roll a dice. Roll a d6.
4.
Okay. Rebecca, roll a d6.
I'm afraid...
6.
Okay.
Our shuttles will
You-
not make it in time to rescue...
Right. So, you know from your past experience with Chemica, they trust the Inquisition. Zip. Mostly because under the orders of some Inquisition, their world got invaded by Sisters of Battle some couple hundred years ago.
And
They don't share their
they're sore about
technology,
it.
their knowledge with anyone. They are more secret than most AdMech. You think that he's suspicious. But
Well, okay, because he's acting real suspicious right
But-
now.
you know something about Chemica that he doesn't.
Awesome.
You know that a person of his rank from one of your previous acolytes has access to the secret black vaults of Chemica.
So if not sharing his research, she could just ask to be
Steal it.
to be let in then. Or to be privy to the information held within.
This I cannot allow. Our research must remain secret. The fate of the Imperium rests upon it.
Then our business here is concluded.
Very well.
Well, that got decided for me.
You can keep
Well,
going. You
sorry.
can, you can keep on going.
My business here is concluded.
No, it's okay. It's alright. I lost my train of thought again. It's fine. I'm obviously very rusty and out of practice.
It's been a few weeks since we roleplayed. Okay, well, what do you guys do?
I go back to the shuttle.
Yep.
You try to leave?
Yeah.
Do you try to leave? Alright. That is the end of our session.
What? We're getting attacked on the way out.
Probably. Let's go.
Alright, that concludes the epilogue session for Depths of Anarcus, Episode 1. I'll thank my players, T and R, for joining us, and thank you, our viewers, for sticking with us and watching us, and I hope you enjoy this new way that we're trying to tell this story, and check out more of our content from Jade Productions. We do a whole bunch of other Warhammer stuff. We've got reviews, we've got some narrative campaigns, and some other battle reports up on our YouTube as well. So please feel free to check those out if you want, and stay tuned for this campaign to continue rolling out over the next couple months. It's going to be a relatively short campaign depending on the actions of our players here, but we'll see how it goes. Once again, I'm Jay from Jade Productions. Thank you very much for watching and or listening to what is essentially this podcast thing, and watching the previous elements, parts of this episode.